What was supposed to be a simple birthday celebration turned into a confrontation between black teens and the police, until the neighborhood stepped in. This powerful story explores the tension, fear, and resilience that lives at the intersection of race, youth, and authority. A must-watch for anyone who wants to understand what it feels like when joy is policed. It was the first real warm night of the year. The kind of night that makes you believe summer has finally arrived. The kind that calls young people outside, lures them away from their screens and into the streets with Bluetooth speakers, laughter, and the joy of being young and free. Across from a corner of Maple and Fifth, in the heart of the Eastwood neighborhood, a group of black teens gathered in front of a modest, red brick duplex. The twins, Kian and Khalil, had just turned 17, and their mom had said they could have a small get-together in the yard. Nothing wild, just music, soda, pizza, and friends. The kind of celebration that says, you made it another year in a world that doesn't always want you to. The music bounced off the buildings, not loud enough to shake windows, but enough to carry the energy of the party into the street. Laughter echoed. Some kids danced. Others just vibed, all of them just trying to enjoy a rare moment of lightness. And then the headlights came. A white police cruiser, creeping slowly around the corner like a shadow looking for something to swallow. Inside sat Officer Brent Holloway, a veteran on the force, known for his no-nonsense approach. The kind of cop who thought a firm hand meant control, and control meant peace. But peace, for Brent, often came with silence, and silence meant authority when unchallenged. He rolled down the window, face blank, eyes scanning. And just like that, the air changed. The music didn't stop, but it faded. Conversations hushed. You could feel it, that cold grip of history wrapping itself around young black necks, whispering, "Be careful." Kian felt it the most. He wasn't just a birthday boy. He was the one who invited everyone. He knew if something went wrong, it would be his name they remembered. He stepped forward slowly, his hands slightly out like he was touching invisible walls of caution. "Evening, officer," he said. Calm, respectful. Brent stepped out of the cruiser, hand resting on his belt, not on his gun, but close enough to send a message. "Got a noise complaint," he said flatly. "Too many kids, too loud, and it's spilling into the street." Kian nodded. "We can turn it down, sir. We're just celebrating a birthday." "I don't want it turned down," Brent cut in. "I want it over. Now." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some groaned. A few looked ready to argue. Khalil, Kian's twin, moved beside his brother and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Come on, man." A boy in the back said, "We're not doing anything wrong." Brent turned toward the voice like a hawk spotting prey. "That a tone I hear?" Kian stepped forward again, his voice steady, but heavy. "We'll end it, sir. No need for trouble." But it was already too late. Another cruiser pulled up. Lights flashed, and now the block was soaked in red and blue, as if the blood of past generations was bleeding into the night. The officers got out, tense, ready not to de-escalate, but to dominate. A girl recording on her phone whispered, "Start live streaming," and others followed. Eyes of the world now watching. "You kids think you can just take over a public street?" Brent barked. "We were on the sidewalk," someone shouted. "We got video." Khalil snapped. "This is harassment. If we were white." That was a spark. Brent shoved Khalil back with one hand. The crowd erupted in chaos. Screams. Phones held higher, bodies moving. Kian grabbed his brother, shielding him. "Don't touch him." Kian shouted. One officer reached for his cuffs. But something shifted. Not in the cops, but in the neighbors. People started coming out of their homes. Adults, parents, grandparents. A woman in a bathrobe stepped between the officer and the boys. "They're not doing anything," she said firmly. "You're escalating a peaceful gathering." More neighbors spoke up. One man, a retired city worker, stood on his porch and shouted, "Ain't y'all got better things to do? There's real crime out there." The crowd wasn't just black anymore. White neighbors who had waved at Kian and Khalil from across the street came forward too. Now Brent was the one who looked unsure. A superior officer, Sergeant Rivera, finally arrived. He assessed the situation and quickly took command. He asked questions. He listened. He told the boys they could continue if they kept it quiet and inside the yard. But the moment had already burned itself into everyone's memory. This story isn't about loud music or curfews. It's about perception. It's about how black joy is often mistaken for threat, how gatherings become gangs, how respectability still doesn't guarantee safety. And yet, it's also about power. Not just the power of the badge, but of community, of resistance, of bearing witness. Sometimes, it only takes one person stepping forward to break the script. If stories like this speak to your heart, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We bring real, raw, and thought-provoking narratives every week. Your voice matters here.